RUTO, President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellency Julius Maada, President of Sierra Leone, Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, Vice President of Namibia, Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, President of the Republic, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellency Governors present here, led by Her Excellency Anne Waiguru, Chair of the Council of Governors of Kenya, Honorable colleague ministers present here, Excellency Ambassadors, Principal Secretaries, Heads of Development Partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, this event here is a demonstration that beside your leadership at the African Union level as a chair of the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change, as well as your rallying the globe around collective climate action, that indeed you are leading from the front right here in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to host you today at this event organized by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, together with the Ministry of National Treasury and Planning. I take this opportunity to thank all our development partners who have supported the processes that we are launching and unveiling here today. This include the World Bank, UNDP, the governments of Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Thank you for standing with the government of Kenya in this endeavor. Kenya developed its long-term low greenhouse gas emission development strategies, LTS, which aims to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 while retaining the economic development trajectory. It sets out a vision, objectives, and priority interventions for delivering economic growth. It also assesses socio-economic losses associated with climate hazards, as well as an estimation of the cost of adaptation interventions, and will be critical in guiding the successive nationally determined contributions, as well as the national climate change action plans up to 2050. Excellencies, distinguished guests, to align climate change actions to the government's development agenda and implementation of Kenya's nationally determined contributions and LTS, we have the National Climate Change Action Plan that is reviewed every 5 years. Today, we present for launching the reviewed National Climate Change Action Plan 3 for 2023 up to 2027. The development of the National Action Plan was guided by a steering committee, very consultative, involving the participation of state departments and agencies of the national government, county governments, civil society, the private sector, academia, a wide range of individuals and institutions. It therefore reflects the various sector commitments to address climate change in the next 5 years. And as a ministry, we recognize and applaud these individual and collective efforts. Excellencies, we are also launching the recently assented to Climate Change Act Amendment of 2023. Kenya enacted the Climate Change Act in 2016. However, to make it responsive to the aspirations of the Paris Agreement on Sustainable Development and Alleviation of Poverty, we have just amended this law to capture a regulatory framework for carbon markets, which will ensure high integrity, high quality, and transparent engagements in the carbon market framework. We are proud today, as a ministry and as government, to present one-of-a-kind carbon market regulatory framework law in Africa. We wish to thank the Houses of Parliament for support, as well as His Excellency, the President, for assenting this bill into law in the last few days. We witnessed a lot of huge interest from individual Kenyans, non-state actors, and therefore it is a reflection of the ambition of Kenyans towards creating an enabling environment for investment in our carbon credits. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, adequate and predictable climate finance is key for implementation of climate action. This calls for enhanced resource mobilization through bilateral, multilateral, and concessional funding. The Financing Locally Led Climate Action Program, FLOCA, is one of these attempts and has crowdfunding from the World Bank, governments of Germany, Denmark, Sweden, the Netherlands, as well as the government of Kenya, to the tune of $295 million US. It is important to note that over 80% of these funds will flow directly to our devolved units at the ward level to support local level climate action. This is squarely in the core of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Today, we will witness the handing over of the first tranche for county governments, which will be utilized for the local level support, community resilient investments. And I am looking forward to breathing life into our intergovernmental framework together with Excellency governors present here through this collaboration and beyond. As a government led by His Excellency the President, we also launched the 15 billion tree growing national landscape and ecosystem restoration program. This was in December of last year. And this is part of our climate action to support carbon sequestration. And we have our targets set out clearly. And Your Excellencies present here today, as I said, that Kenya is leading from the front. We continue to push the envelope beyond the business as usual scenario. We continue to push the envelope beyond the set targets, because as it is the main gist of the summit, the Africa Climate Summit, what we are all doing from the global level is not enough. We have to take our initiatives to a bigger scale. We have to react with the urgency as well as the inclusivity and global efforts to make sure that we all achieve our targets. I conclude by thanking all of you for the continued support accorded to the government of Kenya and through all these policies, laws, and strategies on climate action. Receive our utmost assurance of their effective implementation to facilitate and implement climate action across the country. With those remarks, I now take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen,